Tonight at 5, how Dane County Republicans are remembering conservative activist Charlie Kirk as his suspected killer is taken into custody. And putting Madison's new police chief on the record. A look ahead at our lengthy sit-down conversation with new Chief John Patterson. Plus, a 2-0 start for the Green and Gold. Our Packers senior writer Jason Wilde reflects on last night's 27-18 win over the Washington Commanders. And you're watching News 3 Now at 5. Thanks for joining us. I'm Eric Franke. Susan is off tonight. The man suspected of murdering Charlie Kirk is off the streets, and now we're learning more about his potential motive. Andres Gutierrez reports from Orem, Utah.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We got him.
Authorities took this man, 22-year-old Tyler Robinson, into custody late Thursday. Sources tell CBS News Robinson's father saw the photos released by authorities and confronted his son. The father then reached out to a youth pastor close with the family who contacted the U.S. Marshals.
Investigators interviewed a family member of Robinson who stated that Robinson had become more political in recent years.
Investigators believe Robinson acted alone when he fired a single shot, piercing Kirk in the neck. Video from the FBI shows what appears to be Robinson jumping off a rooftop at Utah Valley University after the shooting. President Trump announced the arrest on Fox News and called for Robinson to face the ultimate punishment.
I hope he gets the death penalty. What he did, Charlie Kirk was the finest person. He didn't deserve this.
Kirk's murder drew bipartisan condemnation and calls to tone down the rhetoric often blamed for political violence.
This is our moment. Do we escalate or do we find an off-ramp?
Authorities did not speak to a motive, but say bullet casings recovered from the rifle believed to have been the murder weapon could shed light on Robinson's thinking. One was engraved with "Hey Fascist, Catch." Robinson is being held without bail. The Utah County Attorney's Office says it will file formal charges next week. Andres Gutierrez, CBS News, Orem, Utah.
In a matter of minutes, the Republican Party of Dane County will host a prayer vigil to remember Charlie Kirk. The vigil will take place at the state capitol by the Forward statue, and that's where our Tanisha Shaw is right now. Tanisha?
Yes, Eric. Right now, I am in front of the Capitol on State Street. We're in just minutes. Like you said, people will have a prayer vigil for Charlie Kirk, and the people hosting that is the Republican Party of Dane County. And already people are pretty much saving their seats and gathering, talking about Charlie Kirk, the loss that they've just had. You can see the American flags. You can see a shirt that says freedom on it. They're selling these shirts all around. And you can also see about roughly 20 people here. And again, as you said, Eric, this will take place at 5:30. Now, we know Charlie Kirk died on Wednesday after being shot at Utah Valley University. And as you said just minutes ago, the suspect right now is in custody. And this assassination truly shocked the world, with President Donald Trump and local politicians also speaking out, like Governor Tony Evers. And a lot of people viewed those moments of Kirk's last moment. I also earlier today spoke to a psychologist from SSM Health that is breaking down how people may react after dealing with a lot of violent, heavy news this past week.
It's okay to have a variety of reactions. We are in this day and age have the potential to be exposed to so much more than we have historically. And so we're going to have reactions. So first of all, acknowledging it. Hey, I'm feeling something. And then also giving yourself permission to have that reaction. I think oftentimes we try to tell ourselves what we should or ought to do. If I'm feeling scared, allow myself to feel scared. Ask for help if I need that. Reach out to people that are trusted supporters. That might be family and friends. It might be professionals.
And just before air, I got the chance to speak to one of the people that's out here to remember Charlie Kirk. And she told me that this is not a political issue. It's not about parties, but it's about paying respect for someone that lost their lives in front of pretty much the whole entire United States. Now, again, this starts in roughly 30 minutes, less than 30 minutes, I should say, at 5:30. I will be here for the entire prayer vigil, and we'll have updates on that tonight at 6. Eric, for now, I'm going to send it back to you in studio.
All right, Tanisha, thank you. We do have warmer weather this weekend. It could also come with some storms. Alex is live tonight out in Jefferson with when we can expect them. Alex?
Hey, Eric. Hey, Southern Wisconsin. Yes, live out here at the Jefferson Fairgrounds as we get ready to kick off the 54th Gamilika Day, and the celebration is going to be getting going here in approximately an hour and a half. This whole place will be packed, and while it's quiet now and while the bands are getting ready, getting warmed up, Folks are just starting to come in. The real show begins tonight here at about 6:30, and we're going to be joined in a little bit with Sherry, one of the organizers. But about that weather, that we have the calm before the storm of people entering here. How about the calm before the storm weather-wise? Take a look right now at Future Track, showing that we will have some showers and thunderstorms breaking out during the early morning hours of Saturday. So much of this evening is going to be dry for southern Wisconsin. But as we put Future Track into motion, scattered showers and a couple thunderstorms, and one or two of those storms could be on the strong side from Madison and areas to the east, as it looks like right now. So we're talking I-39, I-94, and areas off to the east and southeast as we head towards 6 o'clock. Those showers and storms near the Jefferson area, south and east over towards Elkhorn, over towards Milwaukee. Maybe another couple storms popping up along that warm front, which is igniting those storms east of Janesville as we go into the early afternoon hours of Saturday. The threats: heavy rain, small hail, gusty winds. We can't rule out an isolated strong to severe storm with a couple of these storms, but many areas south and west of Madison missing out. Madison and areas to the east, best chance for those storms. And then here's that weekend forecast: 82 for the Jefferson Gamillica Day festivities this weekend and the parade that I will MC at noon on Sunday. When I come back in a little bit, we're going to talk to Sherry more about how this place is going to get packed in about an hour. Back to you in the studio.
All right, Alex, thank you. And we now know the name of the man accused of killing an elderly man in Mazo last month before being shot and killed during a standoff with police. The Wisconsin Department of Justice's Division of Criminal Investigation identifying him as Andrew Collimore. He's accused of killing Thomas Muckler at a home on Dunlap Hollow Road and then taking Muckler's truck. Law enforcement began a high-speed chase with Collimore in Marinette County after spotting that vehicle. After crashing, Collimore reportedly got out of the truck and approached officers, and that's when police opened fire, killing him. The DCI is investigating the shooting and will turn over any reports to the Marinette County District Attorney's Office. And we have continuing coverage from last night. A statewide Amber Alert still active for a Portage County child. Law enforcement says she may be with her uncle. Ruby Lehman was last seen at her grandmother's house in Almond. That's about a half hour south of Stevens Point. Police say they believe she's now with her uncle, Jordan Coyle. Ruby, 6 years old, brown hair, green eyes, last seen wearing a lavender dress with smiley faces and white shoes with the characters Lilo and Stitch. Coyle, 34 years old, red hair, a beard, mustache, blue eyes, said to be about 6'3". Coyle has a peace symbol tattoo on his left chest. Also has tattoos of a dinosaur, puppy, butterfly, and cat on his arm. He's believed to be driving a white 2001 Ford F-250 with a Wisconsin license plate WC2-249. If you know where they might be, you're asked to call the Portage County Sheriff's Office. Madison's former police chief, Sean Barnes, wanted the department to have body cameras by 2027. But now there's a new face in that role. Our Ellie LaLiberte spoke with newly appointed police chief John Patterson about if that timeline still stands. Ellie?
Well, Eric, the short answer is no. Chief Patterson told me that MPD will likely not have body cameras by 2027. Now, MPD is the biggest department in Dane County without that technology. Last year, the department did a 90-day trial that found that officer behavior did not change while wearing the cameras. Chief Patterson says 2027 isn't necessarily a practical timeline, as the city is just coming off of a voter-approved referendum from last year.
We're still managing, some of our budget challenges for next year. And so I don't think we'll see them immediately, but I'm going to continue to prioritize those as an acquisition in the future.
Patterson says his concern is also over personnel and the manpower it takes for a records department to process all the footage that comes with body cameras.
To think about dropping 492 body cameras and all the associated video that's going to be recorded every day on our records staff right now would be, ill-advised, I think.
Former Chief Sean Barnes said the agency would need to add at least one paid position to handle all that additional footage. Now, something else, Eric, that I found interesting from our conversation was in response to President Trump's threats to deploy the National Guard in cities like Chicago. You can hear why Patterson told me it's something he's never had to think about until recently, this Sunday morning at 10:30 on For the Record.
We look forward to that show. Ellie, thank you. Many Americans are feeling less confident about the U.S. economy. Consumer sentiment in August dropped roughly 3 points, according to a preliminary survey by the University of Michigan. Rising inflation and tariffs are two of the main economic concerns. The findings also show a continuing trend. Wealthy people are spending more often and more freely, while lower income households are having to cut back on expenses. The Stoughton Common Council approved the River Haven housing project. It'll be built along the Yahara River across from Mant Park and will be built in 2 phases. It's part of a public-private partnership with the Stoughton Redevelopment Authority. The first phase will build 122 apartments with residents expected to start moving in 2027. Now, the second phase will start construction in 2029 and add 124 units by 2030. Still ahead at 5, the investigation continues after a school shooting in Colorado this week, and the National Guard will be deployed to Tennessee. How Memphis residents are reacting to the federal government's latest crackdown on immigration. And the Packers, fresh off that win last night against Washington. We'll hear from our senior Packers writer Jason Wilde about the win. And on Wall Street today, mixed results to end the week. The Dow closes down some 274 points. The Nasdaq hits a new record high close, up 98 to 22,141. S&P down 3 at the closing bell, and we'll be right back.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
Investigators have been combing through the belongings of the teenager who opened fire at a Colorado school this week. Agents have searched his room and backpack and his locker at Evergreen High School outside Denver. The sheriff's office says the 16-year-old had been radicalized by an extremist network. He shot and injured 2 students before fatally shooting himself. It happened in the same county as Columbine High School, where 2 teenage gunmen killed 14 back in 1999. President Trump is expanding the use of the National Guard to help fight crime in another major U.S. city. And the president says it won't be the last deployment. Erica Brown has more from the White House.
President Trump is expanding his crackdown on crime, announcing plans to deploy National Guard troops to Memphis with support from some city and state leaders.
The mayor is happy. He's a Democrat mayor. The mayor is happy, and the governor, Tennessee. The governor is happy.
Tennessee Governor Bill Lee says he is coordinating with President Trump and his administration to work out the details of the mission. But other local officials, like the mayor of Shelby County, which includes the city of Memphis, oppose the decision.
We know the governor also has a right to bring the National Guard to town, and so we're asking the governor to reconsider.
Some Memphis residents say the move is politically motivated.
I definitely think it's a Republican-driven ideal, especially in a majority black city.
President Trump has previously touted his crackdown on crime as effective and says Memphis is just the next city on his list that also includes Chicago that could see troop deployments.
We're going to go 1, 2, 3, and then we'll do a few at a time. But we're going to straighten out the crime in these cities.
The government has already increased a federal presence in the area as part of an immigration crackdown. Friday, an immigration and customs enforcement operation turned deadly. Officials say authorities working in a Chicago suburb shot and killed a suspect they say tried to ram his vehicle into the arrest team, dragging an officer with a car. The officer involved is in stable condition. ICE officials say activists and viral social media videos encouraging resistance to arrests undermine public safety. Erica Brown, CBS News, the White House.
It is the end of the work week and things have warmed up quite a bit, but temperatures are expected to climb even higher over the weekend. Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington live in Jefferson with what we can expect.
Good evening there, folks. Alex Harrington out here for the 54th Gamillikai Days festivities kicking off on a Friday. It goes through Saturday and Sunday. And I got someone here who's going to tell us all about the festivities tonight. Sherry, thank you again.
You're
it's
welcome.
good to be back here
You're welcome.
again.
You're
Tell
welcome.
us what's going on. First, who's playing right now tonight?
Right now is the Mike Schneider Band, and he's been with us for quite a few years. He's a great band. And later on, he'll move into the back garden as well.
And then what happens after that for tonight's festivities?
Then we have the Steve Meisner Tribute Band starts after. We have the presentation of the Kings and Queens, as many that are still alive come, and we present those to the crowd. We have the tapping of the first keg of beer, officially. So we have lots of food and entertainment for tonight. The clouds, in case you're wondering about those.
Yes, tell us about the clouds.
Okay, so the clouds are our weather committee. Those are the kings and queens that have passed away, and we honor them, and we unofficially they are our weather committee. So we always ask them for good weather for Gamillikai.
Well, I think they're talking right now because I think they're going to bring you some really good weather for tonight, tomorrow morning. If there's anything going on tomorrow morning, nothing's going on tomorrow morning, right?
Here there will be some children's contests, music beginning at 10 o'clock. and going till 11 o'clock tomorrow night. And we have cards. We have euchre and sheepshead tournaments.
And your weather committee here is going to be, I think, working with you folks tomorrow, because we got some storm chances tomorrow morning, but then Sunday's looking dry.
Perfect.
So how about I get into the full Gemütlichkeit Days festivities forecast and that forecast for southern Wisconsin. We'll talk with Sherry again a little bit more about the parade at 6. We do have a temperature of 82 for a high on Saturday with those morning storms. So I want to emphasize morning storms. Chances for rain on Sunday would be very isolated. I think it's going to be dry with a high of 84. But those storms tonight, late tonight, going on into early Saturday, they could pose some heavy rain, some small hail, and some gusty winds. There's an outside chance that we could have a strong to severe thunderstorm, but we're not expecting widespread severe weather, which is certainly good news. What we could use are some of those raindrops. And here's how that all plays out. This isn't until about 2 o'clock in the morning, let's say Dells up towards Camp Douglas, then getting down to Madison and areas over here towards Jefferson by about 6 o'clock in the morning, down to Elkhorn, and then it swings off to the south and the east, and it's out of here. So it's a quick little cluster of showers and a couple of thunderstorms. Again, they could have some small hail, some gusty winds, and heavy rain. But then as we go throughout the day tomorrow, those thunderstorm chances are going to go down and push down into Illinois. As I mentioned, an isolated severe thunderstorm can't be ruled out from Madison areas to the east. That's what that green area means. Madison, Jefferson, Watertown, Janesville. Isolated is key for that severe weather possibility. Otherwise, it's a little warm in here, but that's okay because we're having a good time. But it will get a bit on the muggy side tonight, and our temperatures as we plan from Friday going on into Saturday, again, 82 in Madison. Warmer in southwest Wisconsin because they don't see that chance of those showers and those thunderstorms. And as we plan the rest of our next 10 days here, staying warm all the way through the next 10 days, highs up around 80 degrees, lows in the 60s. That's certainly above normal. We're going to be approaching fall, but nothing fall-like in the forecast. Now, when you come back and join us tonight at 6, Sherry and I are going to talk about the parade on Sunday. I'm going to MC the parade. I'm going to be in additional attire. I'm going to have my official Bundhosen on. So you want to join us tonight at 6 for the latest on the parade. Until then, back to you in the studio, Alex Harrington, News 3 Now.
All right, Alex, thank you. The Green and Gold off to a 2-0 start. But not all the news is good for the Pack. Jason Wilde joins us. He'll explain next at 5.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
The Packers are coming off another win, this time against the Washington Commanders. But last night's victory isn't without a few complications for the Green and Gold's offense. News 3 Now's senior Packers writer Jason Wilde has more.
Certainly, there's a lot of good things happening for the Green Bay Packers right now as they're off to a 2-0 start. Their defense is playing great. Jordan Love is playing well. But it's not all puppy dogs and ice cream and seashells and balloons for the Packers as they lost Jaden Reed to a broken collarbone in Thursday night's win over Washington. Here is how Matt LaFleur broke the news.
So, unfortunately, he broke his collarbone, so he'll be down for quite some time. We'll see how fast he can recover and heal. And certainly I would expect him back at some point this season. But, obviously it's a big blow to us. He's a guy that is a catalyst for our offense and our football team, quite frankly.
Now, the Packers like to say they don't have a clear-cut number one wide receiver, but Jaden Reed led them in both receptions and in yardage each of the last 2 years. He was injured making a spectacular 33-yard touchdown catch that was wiped out by a holding penalty. And in the opener, when they beat the Detroit Lions, he had 3 catches for 45 yards and a touchdown. So he is a valuable piece that they will now be without for the next 8 to 12 weeks. We'll have full coverage of everything Packers at channel3000.com for free. And while you're there, don't forget, sign up for our newsletter so we can deliver our Packers coverage directly to your inbox every single day. In Green Bay, Jason Wilde, channel3000.com.
Jason, thank you. And the third season of the Wisconsin Huddle returns tonight right here on Channel 3. We're bringing you Wisconsin sports directly to you, the fan, at home with exclusive insight from the players and behind-the-scenes access you won't find anywhere else. Wide receiver Tretch Kekahuna, the guest player this week, and this is the first episode tonight, 6:30, right after News 3 Now at 6. Meanwhile, the Badgers face their first tough road test of the season tomorrow. They take on Alabama. Just a peek at some of our predictions from our staff for the Badger game. I've got the Crimson Tide pulling away late, 31-13. Meanwhile, reporter Tanisha Shaw thinks Bucky will get the huge upset in Tuscaloosa, 21-17. And Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington, he has Alabama running away with it as well, 31-10. You can see all of our newsroom picks at channel3000.com. Kickoff for the game is at 11 a.m. And Alex is back. Final check of our weekend forecast when we come back.
The 22-year-old suspect in custody for Charlie Kirk's murder was turned in part by his own father. The search for a motive.
And a story about finding support where you'd least expect it. Our On the Road heads down the aisle. That's tonight on the CBS Evening News.
And coming up on News 3 Now at 6, continuing coverage as the Republican Party of Dane County hosts a prayer vigil to remember Charlie Kirk. That story and more next hour on News 3 Now at 6. Finally, would you try sunscreen flavored ice cream? You might actually get the chance. Van Leeuwen Ice Cream and Carnival Cruise Lines teaming up for an unusual collaboration celebrating the end of summer. They created a sunscreen ice cream for a marketing campaign. Now, ingredients in the ice cream include coconut cream, cocoa butter, vanilla extract, and sea salt. People magazine staffers tried it, said it was, quote, surprisingly delicious. You can't currently buy it in stores, but the two brands are asking people to share their reaction on social media. They'll decide whether it gets enough buzz to offer it to consumers for a limited time. One final check of the forecast. Let's go back out to Jefferson County where Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington is standing by. Alex?
Yeah, Eric, and you just caught us at a quiet moment. Band was just playing here. We had folks dancing here as the 54th Gamillicite Days festivities kick off tonight. Kelly's here as well. Kelly and I are going to be emceeing the parade that's at noon on Sunday, so you don't want to miss that. You want to come downtown Jefferson for the Gamillicite Days parade on Sunday. Sunday's looking great temperature-wise in the 80s. Couple storms tomorrow at 82. But join us at 6. We're going to talk to Sherry more about who and what's in the parade and our king and queen. So join us tonight at 6.
All right, Alex, thank you. Thanks for joining us at 5. The CBS Evening News is next. We're back in 30 minutes for News 3 Now at 6. And you can always find us streaming 24/7 at Channel 3000+.